Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's your favorite anime Weeb Ninja. I'm a Ninja, and we got another anime analysis for you guys today. And we're gonna have some Skyrim in the background. Hope you guys enjoy this one. And we got a heart-wrenching one today. Man, today's video is gonna be horrible. I'll try to edit the best I can, try some new shit. But with that being said, let's just get into it. I know I'm behind. These episodes come out on Wednesday. But like I said in my previous video, I was kind of burned out trying to make it at the same day, especially since in the weekends I have multiple animes coming out in the same day. Since Friday we got Rurouni Kenshin, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Saturday we got Rented Girlfriend, and we get Bleach, which is today. But Saturday we're gonna probably do that on Monday. I'm not gonna lie to you, and we're gonna try to get back on schedule from then on. But with that being said, let's just get into it, and we got a devastating intro on episode 6 of My Happy Marriage as we see Miyo essentially tied up to the ceiling, or not to the ceiling, but she's, her hands are like, I'll have a picture, and then it's revealed that it's essentially Kaya and her mother, or Miyo's stepmother, I guess, and we get a shot of Koji essentially freaking out in the car, telling Kudo to hurry up, as Kudo essentially tells him to not to panic and just, stay relaxed, as panicking won't even help anything. As Koji says, he's awfully calm for somebody whose fiance has been kidnapped, essentially. Miyo's sister Kaya and her stepmother essentially have a plan in which it involves, torturing her until she ends up giving up until their demands, which is to basically divorce Kudo or just call off the wedding that she'll have. As Kaya ends up noticing her kimono and how beautiful it is, she essentially says, somebody like you doesn't deserve to have such a beautiful kimono, and I'll just make it as ugly as the wearer itself. Essentially just threatening to cut the kimono, to which, she pulls the scissors literally up to her ear, and almost even cuts her ear off. And I kind of cringe at that part, but she just snips off a bunch of hair, or just a little tiny portion of her hair, and ends up ripping the kimono, to which Miyo ends up, having these ghastly yells, like she just witnessed a murder. Essentially, because she finds it's something precious that Kudo gave her, and seeing as her regular family didn't treat her right and just gave her shitty ass clothes to wear, it was something precious to her. So I thought it was a little weird how, crazy she was yelling because of the kimono being ripped, but that's a whole different story. So essentially, she rips the kimono. She lets out a heart-wrenching yell, like I said, and Kaya now pulls the scissors up through her throat. At this point, she's basically threatening her life. Again, not gonna do it, but just getting her to shut up. We get Miyo's thoughts at this point, in which she's saying, "Why does this happen to me? Only the best and only things in my life that were good, or essentially being taken away from me." And I can't even have this. I can't have a kimono. I can't have somebody who genuinely cares for me. And it was just heart-wrenching. Like, it was so crazy. And this anime doesn't do too bad of a job. Even in the second episode, you get involved into Miyo's life immediately. Like, I think it's just beautifully done, well written, and I think a lot of people might enjoy this, even if it's like they're not into drama, romance, or slice of life anime. I think this is a great intro to start off with. But anyways, Kaya walks away and essentially scoffing at Miyo, further saying that she's useless, that she has no insight powers or foresight, I'd say, no, insight, right? And yeah, useless as always. And Miyo again refuses out loud, speaking up for herself for the first time. Ends up getting smacked by her stepmother, saying that she won't give up. To which, her mom has like this Japanese fans, like the ones that they use, like they open up, like katanas, fans. They play Mortal Kombat. But yeah, she just essentially just whacks her with that shit over and over again, and it's kind of crazy. And side note, the dub and the sub both are great in their voice acting. Like, you can actually feel some of the emotion that the characters would actually portray, both sub and dub, because I had to watch both of them. As you'll probably see, like, if you watched it yourself, you'll probably see how I use some words interchangeably between the two, both sub and dub, because I was having issues. But all the pictures that I take are always going to be sub, just because you have some more further insight or detail in the bottom of the pictures. So with that being said, just get back into it. I'm sorry, a little sidetrack. But Miyo getting beat down by the stepmother, claims, you know, she says to her essentially, "How dare you? I raised you. I've done everything for you, and this is how you treat me." As soon as you move away and start about to get married, you stand up, because you know she's standing up for herself essentially, and she's getting pissed about that. And we get more of Miyo's thoughts at this point, where she gets up, you know, she stands up, physically stands up, and says she'll never get up on Kudo. That is the love of my life, something along those lines. And essentially Kudo ends up, you know, they arrive, and he ends up blowing the whole entire entrance just to get into the estate that they're in. Estate being, you know, the actual building, the mansion that they got, or house, whatever it is. It's just almost as huge as a mansion, so that's why I said estate. Anyways, both of them, that being Koji's father and Miyo's, end up standing off against him, as, you know, Miyo's father has no idea what the hell's going on. He's not even involved in the plan, but he knows something's up. And Koji's father, using the confusion again, gets Miyo's dad to essentially help him out in the fight. Kudo destroying a barrier which both of them had made, so obviously it's supposed to be super strong since they both combine their powers to create this barrier, but he just flicks it off like nothing without breaking a sweat. As Kudo further uses his win, Kudo's father, sorry, uses his win. I'm just gonna say Kudo's father because I don't know his actual fucking last name. Makes a gust of wind and essentially just throws objects at him. Immediately after, we get a shot of Kudo essentially just blocking, using his own barrier, and, you know, without breaking a sweat. To which Kudo, the actual son this time, notes that it's as if an adult was to fight a baby, also saying that Kudo is one of the most powerful gift users of his time or generation. Kudo then immediately leads, Koji, I'm sorry, immediately leads him through the garden, which then he explains that she might be in the storehouse, which they used to lock her up whenever she would be in trouble. Miyo, that is. Koji's father, which at this point I'm gonna call him the head father, so just, you know, bear with me. Sting attacks both of them from behind using a fire ability in which it engulfs them, but Kudo being able to deflect it in time without a problem once again, pointing out that it was a stupid idea for him to use the fire, specifically because of the area they're in, essentially because they're in the garden and they're literally right next to the house, and just points out how stupid he is and how many stupid ideas he's gonna have throughout the day. And he just whips out a move straight off from Naruto, just like Sasuke, and uses Raikiri on his ass, essentially knocking him out immediately afterwards. And then we cut back to Miyo, in which she has a flashback of all the bad memories she's had while living in that house, and even reminiscing on like the times where she wished she could have ended it all, just waiting for the moment until she died, essentially just wanting to commit, I don't know if I can say this, YouTube is crazy, suicide. It's a real topic, a genuine topic that they brought up, and, you know, it just gives more life to the characters. Again, that being that both dub and sub are great at doing this, just emitting the actual feeling of these characters. And then we get another, and we cut back to the present day as Miyo essentially starts blacking out as Kudo finally arrives and essentially just sees Miyo collapse onto the floor at that point. Miyo getting her Cinderella moment immediately afterwards as she sees Kudo running towards her, and essentially Kudo just embraces her in her arms as she feels all the pain go away, as she's, you know, finally safe, stating that, you know, Kudo, somebody like him, actually came all the way to save someone like her. Again, her reliving her trauma from her past, again, kind of not fully giving in to that feeling of helplessness, but still being present, as, you know, she's changed, but she isn't quite there yet in terms of like how she feels sorry for herself and stuff. And the stepmom, realizing that there's a whole commotion going outside, goes out to see outside of the shed, which I don't know how they don't notice this, but she essentially sees the whole mansion burning, or the whole fire that had spread because of the head father. And Kudo at this point is questioning Kaya, saying how far was she willing to go. She was so badly injured and she couldn't even fight back. She was tied up. Like, what was she planning? What was the end game for her? Like, how far again was she willing to go? Kaya saying that it wasn't her doing. Like, she had no part of this. She didn't do anything wrong. That essentially she was just trying to correct, air quotations, correct a mistake. That being that Kaya, still going on that, she's more qualified in every single way for him because her parents said so. She essentially says that her parents are always telling her that she's the best, she's absolutely wonderful. Again, saying that Miyo has no spirit sight ability, nothing essentially that she could offer to Kudo. Kudo's telling her to essentially shut the hell up, as he's heard enough, and at this point carries out Miyo, or attempts to carry her out the shed, to which Kaya once again stepping in front of them, not refusing to give up, and telling her why isn't he choosing her. She's the one with spirit sight, not understanding that Miyo has something more in her. She has more of a caring personality, which attracts Kudo. Kudo again shuts her down, saying that there's no way in hell that he'd ever married anyone as arrogant as she is, as he glares at Kaya, essentially just scaring her down, or beating her down. And Kaya, now at a loss, breaks down as Koji is trying to save her so that they can evacuate from the fire, saying that Miyo would still cry if Kaya had died, because that's just the type of person that Miyo is. And essentially shoots off. We get a shot after that, after the whole mess is done. We get a shot of an enemy, which I believe is Kudo's original enemy, because in the first 2 episodes, or I think it was the third one, it might be the second one though, but one of those, he's essentially like portrays like somebody who's out to get him. Someone is like always watching him. So I'm assuming that's the original enemy, and he at the end, and this is from the dub version, which I took notes on this part. He essentially wants to put a stop to the spirit sight abilities entirely, but from what I remember in the sub, he just wanted to put a stop to somebody who had a specific spirit sight ability. So that again reminded me of Kudo. So I mean, there was a difference there, but essentially Miyo, like, once again she wakes up as Kudo is watching over her as she's recovering, and Yuri bursts into the door and expresses her happiness that Miyo has finally woken up, as she's been out for quite some time. And essentially, they're all just happy that she's safe, and that's the end of the episode right there. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys thought about this episode, once again, or the series. Once again, I just think it was beautifully done, from the animation, like the voice acting, just giving it their all. Whether it's dub or sub, I'd recommend both of you. If you hate dubs, I mean, at least give it a try. I think it's great. Most people will still talk shit about it just because it's dubbed, but I do believe genuinely that they did a beautiful job on both of them. And with that being said, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. Real quick before I end the outro, there was actually a scene where they show, as Miyo's being carried out, that she remembers her mother, and she has a vision of her in which she specifies that Miyo has something in her and that she believes in her, and to just believe in the power that she has within her. And essentially, I'm assuming they're just foreshadowing some power awakening that she'll have, which I'm looking forward to. But with that being said, just again, roll my outro. Yeah, I mean, I've been streaming on Twitch. I was playing Skyrim once again. It's been a minute. I finally got back to getting Serana, and yeah, I mean, it's not much to talk about, honestly. I just hope you guys enjoyed this one, and with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. As always, you fucking weebs, and I'll see you on the next video. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Peace out. Deuces.